Hello. So here we are. Horizons, if you must call it that. Or you could call it Season 2, if you really must call it that. I will stick with just calling it Elite Dangerous 2.x. So we are into Elite Dangerous 2.0. And that means changes afoot. It also means that we have, well, at the moment, the pretty much shocking revelation that is, well, everything seems to be running smoothly at the moment. I've heard from one person saying that exploration is fucked up again. But I've done a bit of exploration, nothing major, just scanning a few systems that I hadn't been to before, and that was fine. I sold the data no problem, so it seems to be alright. So I don't know, it could be some issue, or it could just be affecting a very small number of people, or just one, but so far I've not encountered it. So, well, as you can see, I'm in the Imperial Cutter, and I'm not going to go through the stats in any major detail because they, well, for the most part, they haven't changed very much. Tycoon's gone up to 25%. Ranger is at 48%. I think that might have changed a bit. Otherwise, the major change is the balance, which has gone down to 175.6 million, which is still okay. And some of my stats have changed. Current assets are up to 911,491,000, and credit spent on ships has shot up to 936.5 million. Credit spent on outfitting has now passed 5 billion. That's pretty much all the major changes as far as balance. Combat hasn't really changed very much. I haven't done a great deal yet. Crime went up by 1, but nothing worthwhile. Smuggling hasn't changed at all, but trading has. Market network is the same. My trading profit is now up to 483.4 million. Commodities traded is now at 470,716. Average profit has certainly gone up very nicely, 197,570. And my highest single transaction is now 2,479,752. And in order to get that, what I did was, for one trip only, I outfitted my cutter so that it had nothing but cargo racks, which gave me a cargo capacity of 792 tons. So I did my slave run, which thankfully still works. The profit's gone down a little bit, but not a huge amount, and resulted in close to 2.5 million in one trip. That's one way, not one return trip. So to say I was pleased with that is a masterpiece of understatement. Now, mining hasn't changed, but materials collected has certainly shot up. Considering this game only came out yesterday, late yesterday at that. 77 materials collected, most of which are as common as fuck and pretty much worthless really. Some are less common. Exploration, I'm now up to 3,228 systems visited, with 36.2 million in profits from exploration. Level 3 detail scan is now up to 6,505. SRV distance travelled is now at 38.5 kilometres. That's it as far as the stats changes go. So I'm currently docked in the Het, and well, let's show you the ship. So here she is, the Imperial Cutter with the black paint job, and I must admit she looks pretty fucking impressive. I mean, she looks impressive at the best of times, but with the black paint job, it certainly helps. I mean, granted, all the ships look great in with the black paint job. I've currently seen 4. I took a look at my Anaconda before I sold it. That looked great. Then I saw Cobra Mark III that I had briefly. Fer-de-Lance, which is my second ship, which I will show you in a moment. And of course there's this fucker. So it has the lightweight alloy bulkheads. I do plan on putting the military grade bulkheads on this ship, but they're not a priority yet, but they will go on. The rest is no big surprise. Power plant thrusters, frameshift drive, all A's, life support D, power distributor A7, sensors A7, fuel tank unchanged. For shields, I did go with the Bioweave shield generators, class 8 of those. I've got the A6 fuel scoop. I have a G4 planetary vehicle hangar with 2 SRVs. Detailed survey scanner, advanced discovery scanner and planetary approach suite, and all the rest are cargo racks. So I have 416 tons of cargo at the moment, and to be honest, this is a very conservative loadout. There's nothing particularly remarkable, especially as far as the internal compartments go. There's nothing spectacular there, you know. The shield generator, the fuel scoop, and the 2 scanners. That's really it. Oh, the vehicle hangar. As far as the hard points go, all of the medium hard points have class 2 cannon turrets. The 2 large hard points have class 3 gimbal beams, and the huge hard point is a class 4 gimbal cannon. As far as the utility mounts go, I've taken variety and flushed it down the Kazi. Kill warrant scanner there. Everything else is shield boosters. So I have 7 A-rated shield boosters. The net result of that is that this ship has it's about 20 megajoules down from a standard A8 shield generator with 5 A-rated shield boosters. So it has the strength of a highly boosted A8, an A8 that's been boosted to double, and combined with the recharge rate of the Bioweave shields. The drawback is, of course, I have no chaff launcher, I have no point defense. I have no heat sinks either, which if you're using shield cell banks you will certainly need. However, I'm not using shield cell banks, so I don't have them. So that is the Imperial Cutter. Now if we go to the shipyard, I can show you the Fer-de-Lance. This is my second ship. Now this is a specialist fighter. I wouldn't say it's a light fighter. The Fer-de-Lance isn't exactly a light ship, but it is it's certainly a damn sight lighter than the Cutter. I guess I would call it a medium fighter. So if we check out the outfitting, we'll start off with the internals again. So this does have the military grade composite bulkheads, A6 power plant. In fact, most of this is going to be very familiar to you. A-rated everything apart from life support. The shield generator is an A5, A4 fuel scoop, B4 shield cell bank, A2 frameshift interdictor, the docking computer and the planetary approach suite. So this ship can land on planets, but it doesn't have an SRV because it's a dedicated combat ship, and therefore an SRV is an utter waste of time. It does have drawbacks. The fuel tank is pathetically small, and also its jump range, which is 12.02, is horrendous, and it means that that community event that is still going, and I wouldn't mind testing this thing out there. To get there in this ship, it's 16 jumps. And for that reason I thought, fuck it, I'm not going to go there. So I'm sure there's somewhere close by where I can test it, but I know there is. There's a high intensity resource extraction site around here, so I can try that out. Anyway, as far as the hard points go, it's very different to what I usually have. So we have in the huge hard point an A4 plasma accelerator. Yes, the plasma accelerator is now an option for the Fer-de-Lance. Prior to the changes that were made to it, you would have been mad to fit a plasma accelerator to a Fer-de-Lance. The heat and power requirements just made it ridiculous. Now it is an option, and it's a fucking good option, so I've got that on there. Everything else in the medium hard points are all taken up with class 2 pulse lasers, but these are fixed pulse lasers. I'm not farting about with gimbals. I've become far too reliant on gimbal weapons. So with a ship like this that not only doesn't need gimbal weapons, but because of the hardpoint placements, gimbals are a bit of a waste. I'm going to be using this to get some more practice on using fixed weapons, because of course fixed weapons do more damage than their gimbal counterparts. So if I can get the hang of fixed weapons, I may fit them to other ships, though not the cutter, because the cutter's roll and pitch rates are so bad that you're really not going to get away with it, which is why I have so many turrets on that thing. Onto the utility mounts, so we have two shield boosters, of course A rated. I don't even consider using anything else. D rated kill warrant scanner, chaff launcher, point defense, and I even have the heatsink launcher. Normally I don't bother with a heatsink launcher, but I mean this thing has a plasma accelerator, 4 lasers and a shield cell bank. So yeah, I think a heatsink is essential for this thing. When I first put it together, I had the frameshift interdictor and the fuel scoop switched around. I had an A2 fuel scoop and an A4 interdictor. Now, of course, an A4 interdictor is the best you can get, but the A2 fuel scoop, even on a ship like this with only an 8-ton fuel tank, the fuel scooping rate was just fucking awful, so I just said, oh, bollocks to it, so I shoved the A4 on there. A2 frameshift drive interdictor will do. It's not like I use the thing much, so, you know, it's no big deal that it's only a class 2. The standard docking computer, I'll just also point this out, at the moment the docking computer really is flying your ship like a cunt. If you've got a large ship, don't fucking even think about fitting a docking computer on there. When I say large ship, I mean a ship that uses one of the landing pads with the 3 blast shields. If your ship's using one of those landing pads, do not put a docking computer on it. If it's a medium or a small ship, you can get away with it. But yeah, but basically I've got it here to fill up space, because the reason I had it in my Anaconda was, of course, if my Anaconda's shields had gone down in a conflict zone, it meant that there was a high chance of me taking damage when I was trying to dock at a Coriolis station. So with the docking computer, it could do that for me, and I wouldn't take any more damage while my shields were still down. With this ship, because it's a hell of a lot smaller than a Anaconda, and if you can't get this ship through the access corridor, then this really is not the game for you. So there you go, that's the Fer-de-Lance loadout, along with its black paint job, which again looks fucking great, I think. So I'm going to switch back to the cutter for this video. Now my intention is to get a fleet of 5 ships, and I mean, let's face it, I've got 175.6 million in the balance. I could easily get almost, well, I can get any 2 of the 3 remaining ships. So my planned fleet is this cutter, which will be like my flagship, if you like. It will also eventually become a dedicated battleship. Then I have my fast light fighter, which is the Fer-de-Lance, which I've got. I then want a dedicated mining ship, which will be an Anaconda. I then want a dedicated exploration ship. I don't know what that will be yet. And I will have a dedicated cargo ship, which will be another Imperial Cutter. Now I can afford either the Asp or the Anaconda. I can't afford a second cutter yet, even if I get it from Shinrata Desra. I'm not far off it, about another 11 million. But yeah, I want to get either the Explorer or the mining Anaconda next. I had a feeling he would message me in a sec. I'll just right. So yeah, I just can't make my mind up as far as what exploration ship to get. It's going to be one of 3. It could be a Diamondback Explorer if I'm feeling like a real skinflint, but with, you know, 175 million, that's unlikely. It's more likely to be an Asp. I mean, an Asp with an exploration loadout costs, well, less than 30 million, so I've easily got that covered. Or I could go really mad and get an Explorer Anaconda, because outfitted properly, as far as exploration goes, the Anaconda has an enormous jump range. So that is a possibility. So that would mean that my fleet would consist of 2 Anacondas, 2 Imperial Cutters and a Fer-de-Lance, which seriously limits me as far as my abilities to land at outposts. Although, I mean, that's not a big deal. There is no reason at all to prioritise landing at outposts above anything else, but it is nice to have. So I could make my mining ship a Python. I don't really like the thought of getting a Python. I've gone beyond the Python, you know. But so anyway, really, those 3 ships that are still to come are all still sort of undecided, because there's still outside possibilities that the ship I'm going to get may change. Oh, with the exception of the cargo ship, that's definitely going to be a Imperial Cutter. I mean, no other ship comes close to the cargo capacity of this fucking thing, so yeah, this is a must. Now, I'll just quickly show you the materials that I have collected. As you can see, I have collected quite a few. So I have 5 iron, 6 nickel, 5 zinc, 17 carbon, 26 sulfur, 10 phosphorus, 4 selenium, 1 germanium, 1 tungsten, 1 arsenic and 1 molybdenum. And the result of that is that I can do any of the SRV synthesis, but it's all basic at the moment. I need 1 of mercury to do a standard for the refueling, otherwise I can do 10 standard refuels, which is handy. I mean, you know, it tops up the fuel level. What more do I really need? SRV repair, I can do 2 of these, so I have the iron and the nickel for the basic. I can't do the standard yet. I don't have any manganese or vanadium. Can't do any the premium because I don't have any chromium, vanadium or tellurium. Tellurium compounds I mentioned in an earlier video with the selenium. The selenium compounds stink to high heaven, but tellurium compounds stink even worse, so yeah, I wouldn't fancy being the one to handle that stuff. And yeah, with the ammo restock, again I got 10 of these, so well, 10 of the basics. None of the standards yet. I just need 1 manganese to do that, or better yet 1 technetium, and I can do the premium one, which does a bonus 30 damage, which is handy, except I haven't fired a single shot in anger. I've only fired shots to break up you know, finding more materials. Now, as far as the ship synthesis goes, the FSD boost I'm not all that fussed about. I don't care if I use it or not. I mean, obviously I can't use it because I don't even have the basic. I need 2 vanadium here. Then for the standard I need cadmium and niobium as well. And for the premium, if I'm nowhere near it, I need 3 niobium, 1 yttrium and 1 polonium. Polonium and yttrium are... Actually no, yttrium isn't radioactive. It's ytterbium I'm thinking of that is. So... Okay, plasma munitions will be handy for the Fer-de-Lance, obviously, but yeah, no modules available on this ship, so it wouldn't tell me even if I did have you know, the manganese. For the standard, bonus 15% damage. With the plasma accelerator I've got on the Fer-de-Lance, that 15% damage will make a big difference. Never mind the fucking 30. I mean, the 30 I'm a long way from having that, but there are some that I've got. This is one here, the explosive munitions. I've got that covered quite nicely, but I don't have any modules. Standard, I still need 3 more arsenic to mercury, which will give a bonus 15%. And then the premium, I need arsenic, niobium, mercury and polonium. But yeah, I haven't got any mines or missiles fitted to any of my ships yet. That might change later on. The small caliber munitions for multi-cannons, I've got 2 reloads for this, but I don't have any of these weapons fitted. Just need 2 zirconium to get the standard. And I need 1 tungsten, 2 zirconium, 2 mercury and 1 antimony for the premium. So quite a way off from there. I need 1 vanadium for the basic high velocity munition for the railguns. I don't use railguns, so it wouldn't really be worth me doing any of these. Now this I can use, because this is large caliber munitions used by cannons and fragmentation cannons. And as you can see, I've got one reload available. I've got all three of those in the basic, but it says that it has no effect. So what does it do then? Is it because I haven't fired any shots yet, so it would do a reload, but I don't need that? I get the feeling it could be a while before I find out, because well, I've only once run out of cannon ammo, so yeah, I don't know what will happen there. So with the standard, I need 2 tin and 2 zirconium, so still got a way to go, and I'm a long way short of the premium. I need 3 more zinc, 1 more tungsten, 1 mercury and 2 antimony. The AFM refill, now this will be handy for exploration. My exploration ships will have the auto-field maintenance units for sure, so being able to repair them and then add ammo back to them again will be more than useful. Ideally I would get the standard or the premium, but as you can see, the standard and premium need a lot. So I need, I've got the molybdenum, but I need 1 tin, 2 manganese, 6 vanadium and 1 zirconium, and that's for standard. And for premium you need a fucking hell of a lot. So 2 zinc, which I've covered, 4 chromium, 6 vanadium, 2 zirconium, 1 tellurium and 1 ruthenium. Never heard of ruthenium, and I know the periodic table quite well. Oh, so there you go. That's where I am then as far as materials and my synthesis. I'm already getting to the point where I'm going to end up having to dump some of the materials I've got, because I can't see me, seriously needing 26 sulfur. And to dump it, all you do is you click on it and you select how many you're going to discard, and then you just press space as normal. So it's just like if you're dumping your cargo. So anyway, that's that. Now for this video, I think I'll go to one of the planets that I've had some success with, because I found some good stuff there, which is definitely Nahet 1E. That was quite impressive. Just to point out, Nahet 2A has 4 of these bases. This particular one, Tennyson Dean Court Silo, has a docking pad. Trouble is, it's run by Nahet Silver, what's their fucking names? Silver Ring, and as you can see, I am hostile with them. So I turn up there, and the whole place is red, and they, basically strongly suggest I don't land there. So I couldn't land there, which I was going to do, and I ended up having to land just on the planet somewhere else. But I did find some materials, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. Just to point out also here that with your reputations, the progress bar for the ranks for your Federation or Imperial Navy, they're not working. So it's not that I'm at 0, because everybody playing is showing at 0. You do have some progress there, and you do, it is carrying on. It hasn't been reset. It's just that it's not working. Shock horror. There's something in Elite Dangerous that doesn't work properly. Although, to give them their dues, and I'm rather loath to say this, but the release of Horizons, although it was a bit late, and the download rate was horrendous, and getting a Steam key for Horizons last night wasn't working. It works fine now. I've got Horizons on my Steam. Well, I'm not playing the Steam version here. But yeah, despite what looked like quite a long list of hiccups, there really wasn't that many. It went quite well, which is rather surprising. Now, I've not exactly been playing Horizons a monumental amount. And there's me saying I was going to keep calling it Elite Dangerous 2.0, not Horizons. There you go. And I mean, it's obvious that initially loads of people will be doing the planetary landings that I'm going to show for this video. But I think for the vast majority of players, sooner rather than later, they are going to see that planetary landing isn't all that fantastic, apart from giving you something to look at. Graphically, it's amazing, but in terms of gameplay, it doesn't really give you an awful lot.
Frameshift drive charging.
Just, you know, driving around you with your rover trying to find you know, materials. Big deal. So when I get my fleet of 5, the Explorer will have SRVs. And I think that's it. None of the others will. The cargo ship won't need one. It can make use of the planetary landings and land at you know, docking stations on a planet's surface, but it doesn't need the SRVs. Likewise, the mining ship. I mean, yes, collecting materials does count to your mining statistics, but you don't make money from collecting materials, so it's not for my mining ship. And obviously neither of the combat ships need them. You know, it's not combat, it's something completely different. Whoops, I wasn't paying attention. Still not slowed down enough. There we go. So yes, the 2 combat ships won't need them. The mining ship won't need it. The cargo ship won't need it. So it is purely the exploration ship. So that will be either a diamond. Well, no, it's not going to be a diamondback. That's just too small. So it'll be either an asp or an anaconda. But if I'm going to, you know, head to a planet's surface apart from you know, planetary docking stations, it's going to be the ship to take. It's the only one. Now there are some quite impressive canyons on Nehet 1E. There's also some impressive ones on 1D just there. In fact, I've not landed on 1D yet, but I mean, well, as you can see, you get some quite impressive views of 1D from the surface here. And while you're on the surface of Nahet 2A, you get some pretty impressive
orbital flight
views of the gas giant that it orbits and its ring systems. So yeah, there's some, there's certainly some impressive sights in Elite Dangerous 2.0. Now these canyons and that and these valleys all look fucking good, there's no doubt about it, but they are a fucking pain in the arse if you are in your SRV having to try and negotiate them. So where I like to go is inside a large impact crater. This one here looks like it might do the trick. I think this is going to be the destination. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. Compared to some impact craters, that's got quite a nice gentle slope, but I want to land inside it rather than on the outside and have to travel inwards. I think we are certainly inside there now. Let's get the old landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, don't give me that unsuitable terrain bollocks. This terrain's fine. There is nothing wrong with this terrain anywhere. There we go. Right, down and safe. Oops, wrong one. So I keep going to the select vehicle. I don't know why, they're both fine. Now, something I've got into the habit of doing, and I also recommend you do if you are on a planet surface looking for materials, is as soon as you're away from your ship, don't do a 360-degree spin. What you want to do is tell it to piss off. So off she goes. And the reason for doing that is because she gives off a fucking enormous signal which your radar detects, and you can quite easily get it mixed up for one of the materials you're trying to find. Now we're getting quite a large signal here, so let's the other thing I picked up is to not go too fast, because it's easy to lose control of your SRV if you go too quickly. And this is an icy body, so you know, losing control is, well, something that's going to happen quite a lot, especially if you drive straight into a rock and make no attempt to move out of the way of it. Like that. Actually, no, I think the SRV you can get away with driving around with your settings like that, even though I fucking hate it. Well, I hate it in ships. With the SRV you can get away with it. In ships it's inexcusable, as I frequently say but still maintain. It looks like we're approaching the top of the crater. It also looks like there are two signals that I'm homing in on. So we're now out of the crater. There's definitely two signals. You can hear that there are two. Right, there's one. A metallic meteorite. Alright, what's that giving us? Well, that's niobium there. I haven't got any of that yet, so that's very handy. Very low gravity here. So we'll get the notification that this is a new... fucking hell, we would if I'd actually, you know, put the cargo scoop down. There we go. So that's 12 that I've discovered now. Manganese, I need that as well. That's another new one. Nice. So this has already been worthwhile. Fuck's sake, why is this thing constantly trying to turn away? What's that? Phosphorus. Not so useful, but well, fucking have it. Now there's another one very close here. There it is. Another metallic meteorite. What have we got in this one? Carbon, ruthenium. Oh, well that's another new one, and that's one of the ones that I needed for something that caught my eye. I can't remember what particular item it was now. I'll definitely have it. Right, niobium. I think I've already got some of that, but it will be handy to get. Yeah. Carbon. Fucking hell. It's because I'm right on a slope here by the looks of it. Looking at the HUD there. That is sulphur. I certainly don't need more of that, but I may as well carry on filling up the hold. Alright, now there's another close by in this direction. phosphorus, carbon. Nothing remarkable in this one. Another carbon. Zinc. It's not a new one, but now, is there anything else close by? Yes. And you see what I mean about this place being quite good for materials. There's plenty of them around. This looks like multiple signals again that I'm closing in on. Okay, no, this is just one. Okay, now we've definitely got two signals. There's one of them there. Carbon again. So here's the problem. The common materials are very common. That you just get them all the fucking time. This iron, well, yeah, another very common one, but I haven't got an enormous amount of iron, so I'll happily take that one. There's another one coming up there. Sulfur and carbon. Jesus Christ. How many have I got of those? Sulfur 27, carbon 21. So, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to even bother picking them up. Now, where's that signal I was tracking earlier? Okay, let's move those this way. Yeah, you can see the other moon that in the Het 1D coming over the horizon. You do get some quite impressive backgrounds in this game. Now this signal it's a different signal source, but it yields the same results. I've encountered 3 different signal sources so far. There's that one that sounds like a bit sort of like dolphin, it's clicks. And there's one that just sounds a bit like a sort of it's a bit difficult to describe. It's just some sort of like electronic whine or low-pitched electronic whining sound. And then there's a third which is a much lower, or well no, it's not really much lower, but it's a very different sound, but it has that same like electronic whine type sound. And whenever I've encountered that, it's because I find a much larger area, something like a point of interest, and there are like various skimmers there. I found one of those earlier today, and it turned out to have a load of skimmers. In fact, this signal source I'm approaching could be another one. But yeah, it had a load of skimmers protecting an area that had 5 cargo canisters, all containing gold. So I thought, yeah, I'll have some of that. What's that? I've gone straight past. Or is that still that... oh yeah, that's that carbon one and whatever that I was ignoring because it's fucking not worth it. I'm fairly sure this signal source is going to be something that's more akin to a point of interest than any materials. I mean, it's not actually classed as a point of interest, I don't think, because it's not down as a... it's not one of those blue zones or anything like that, although I think you only see them if you're approaching in your ship. I will soon find out if it is one, because we're getting bloody close to it, and if it is, there will be a perimeter like that one that's coming up there. Now, what have they got in here though? Well, let's zoom in and take a look. Gold. I want some of this. Now this is what I did last time, but I landed in a very different part of the planet last time. Now where's that? There was another canister, unless I've knocked it, which I think I've done. Right, here we go. Now hopefully I've knocked that loose a bit. And so there's one quite close. So what I will do is we'll recall the ship, and I can just keep transferring the gold up to the ship and then go back out and get the rest. Now this is exactly the same as what I found earlier this morning. So it's not like I was looking for points of interest. I just stumbled across this one. Right, so my ship's arrived. There it is. Where is it going to land? Somewhere over there. So you can see I'm now getting a huge signal, but it's my ship, it's not you know, any materials. Landed a lot further away than I would have liked. I wanted it to be a lot closer to that gold. Right, so we can now transfer the cargo, here we go, to the ship. Now I need to go back to that area, which is now so far away it's disappeared off my scanner. That's really annoying. I wish the ship had landed closer. That's why I don't like going so fast. Mind you, I kind of got away with it. So let's get that gold. Here we go. Now, we're not actually in the perimeter yet. Fuck off. Only in the corner. Surely that gold, okay, it hasn't come out of it completely, but it has the nearest damage. Right, back to the ship with these. Now when I did this earlier today, there were only 5. It looks like there's more than 5 here. Oops, I really fucked that up. I'm down to only 81%. This really annoys me when the controls get muddled up and you can't tell if you're going in reverse or what. Right, transfer those. And back we go. You can see the skimmers, so we've now got a bit of a better idea of where to go. Now there was another one that had fallen out. Yeah, there it is. Now you have to target them, you can't just drive over them. Once you've targeted them, then drive over it and in it goes. Now I don't know how many's left. I can see one. I think that might be the last one. Right, so I've got that. Get out of this before we get the fine. And I think that's the lot. Now if I stop just on the outskirts, right, if we do an exterior view, you get an idea of how small your SRV is. Well, sort of get an idea. I mean, there it is there. You can see the skimmer's there. So you may think we don't look that small. The skimmers are quite comparable in size to the old SRV. I'll tell you what, we'll come back here in the cutter, then you'll see a difference in size. So right, let's head back then, because we have taken all of the gold from here. So we'll transfer the last two, so we got 6 from this. Now we'll board the ship. So now to give us an idea of the size
Landing gear retracted.
of those skimmers. It's actually more likely to give us an idea of the size of the Imperial Cutter. So here we are. Trying to, whoops. I've destroyed 2 of them by ploughing into them. So there are 2 skimmers there, and now we'll see how they compare in size to the cutter. I think we'll find that the answer is they don't. So there's the cutter just hovering above the ground, and there are the skimmers, which are now absolutely dwarfed by it. So I've destroyed 2 of them, not intentionally. I don't know if that will count in my stats for destroying them. Let's have a look, and combat. Skimmer's killed 0, okay, so it doesn't count because I just ran into them, which is fine because I didn't intend to destroy them. Okay, so let's well, I'll tell you what, if I've got gold, I don't want to sell just 6 tons of it, so let's go to liabilities, and there we can buy a load more if it will fucking select it. There we go. There you go. So we can buy a load more from Lyalka Beacon, my usual old, well, my old trade route. The price of gold has gone up a bit in Lyalka Beacon. It's not terrible, but it's not quite as good as it used to be. Right, let's get out of here.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now, just as it was in the beat there, it's a bit slow when you first leave a planet, but once you pick up the speed, you get past above orbital cruise height, then it's not so bad. But finding points of interest to when you are still in the ship is getting a bit tougher. It used to be that if you flew between 1.5 and 2 kilometers, you would get the signal if you were approaching one. Now it's 1.8 kilometers has come into it somewhere. I think it's between 1.8 and 1.5. If you're between them, at least that's what I'm hoping it is. What I really hope it isn't is if you have to be between 1.8 and 2, and that's it. Anything below that, no chance, because that means you're going to have to be like seriously precise with your flying.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping.
Alright, well, even with an A6 fuel scoop, it seems to still be a bit slow, but that's because, you know, this thing has a 64 ton fuel tank as opposed to the 32 in the Anaconda.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
It's not as if it takes ages, you know. When you have an A6 fuel scoop, it doesn't matter how big the fuel tank is, it will fill it up pretty rapidly. You could go mad and fit, well, actually, you can't, well, okay, yeah, you can fit an A7 to this ship, but it's a bit of a waste of a internal compartment, because you've got the A8 slot instead of, well, you got a Class 8 slot as well as, or instead of a Class 7. You've got 2 of those, so, which means you could fit an A8 fuel scoop, which costs something in the region of 260 million credits, and that's at Shinrata Desra prices. So I dread to think what they would be like anywhere else. I mean, an A8 fuel scoop really is something for people who have, well, a huge number of credits and don't know what to do with it all. No docking computer on this thing, so leave it to, no, we won't leave it to do its own thing. Type it to bring it in my usual smooth piloting ways. Compared to my Anaconda docking, this thing's fine. Certainly a lot easier to dock one of these than it is to dock an Anaconda. now I've said that, of course, this will be one of those times where I'll fuck it up and hit fucking everything.
Scan detected.
Yeah, give me a sec. Oh, okay.
Landing gear deployed.
Alright. Oh, okay. It's just down in Kent. Alright.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
My old man interrupting. He's incapable of doing anything without telling me 4 times in the space of 10 minutes before doing it. Anyway, so here we are then in Alka Beacon, so we'll get the old repairs done. The integrity repairs on this thing are, well, certainly a lot higher than they are on a Anaconda, but you know, if you can afford an Imperial Cutter, then those integrity repairs are fuck all. Now I'm not going to buy, or rather I'm not going to sell my gold here, I'm going to buy more to bring it up to a decent amount. I'm now paying 9,049 per tonne here, that's the most it's been here for a while. Now with the full cargo hold, this ship's jump range is now reduced quite a bit, and it's now 2 jumps just to get back to Nahat. So I don't know how long this video's been going on for. I was thinking of doing, or you know, a bit of pirate hunting in the high intensity extraction site in the Fer-de-Lance, but I may save that for a separate video rather than making this one drag on for fuck knows how long. Okay, the inertia on this thing, I'm still going up from lifting off from the launch pad. Because the mass of this thing is just so enormous. I mean, it has vastly more mass than the Anaconda. I think the only ship with more mass than this is the Type 9. So anyway, let's oh fuck it, yeah, I forgot. I'm supposed to be in fact I'm sure I set the course for it. Yeah, I have. So I've set course for it. Next distance should be ICZ blah de blah. Okay, now it is. So why the fuck did it do that? Okay, maybe we found our first Horizons bug. I guess it was just a matter of time.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage. Fuel scooping.
One thing I forgot to check, which I can do while I'm scooping here. Okay, so up to 90 materials collected. I'm sure there was an easier way of checking just by going to the materials tab. So I've almost got a third of my maximum amount.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So I'm rather glad I didn't bother picking up those extra fucking sulfur and carbon, because I really do not need any more of those two.
Charging.
Now I don't know if he's made it publicly viewable or not, but Commander Rusty Dog did a video of Horizons while it was still in beta 6.
Fuel scooping.
And it was a pretty good video. If he makes it public, I would advise you to go and check that out. If he hasn't made it public, then that's me dropping a hint to fucking do it. Looks like Riverjack got bored with me waiting for me to finish doing my vid. Now the profits on gold at the Western Orbital have also gone down. They're not that good. I'll probably make something in the region of 600 per tonne, which is certainly enough to make sure I'll make you know, more than my average. I want my average to keep going up, even though it's not at all important. It doesn't matter as far as your trade rank goes. I would quite like to get the average up above 200,000 per transaction. Of course, the drawback of that is that even if I make a you know, profit of 199,000, which is a decent enough profit, it will send my average down. Mind you, that said, a lot of time now I don't bother with trading unless I can be sure that I'm going to make at least 300,000 profit. Otherwise I don't bother with it. I have a feeling it's going to take me a while to get to my next trade rank, which is elite. But with me, you know, trading so sparsely and only doing them if I know I'm going to make at least 300,000 profit. Although in this ship that does happen more often now. Even with this rather conservative loadout and with lots of other internal modules being used with things like, you know, fuel scoops and shields and scanners and vehicle hangars, I've still got 416 cargo capacity, which ain't bad. I mean, there were times in the Anaconda when I had more than that, but I had to pretty much strip out everything and fit nothing but cargo racks in order to get that much. Most of the time the Anaconda only had about 240, which is only just more than a Python. I am rather waffling away, aren't I?
Docking request granted.
Scan away, I've got nothing dodgy. There was a lot of the smuggling missions now, you fail if your ship is scanned, and in this ship you are going to be scanned every time you enter a docking station. It doesn't matter what sort of you know, silent running manoeuvres or whatever that you do. They can't miss a ship this size, and its signature is usually pretty
Docking
enormous.
successful. Engines disengaged.
Right, so there you go, just 2 jumps, and Integrity needs 1,223 credits worth of repairs. See if anyone's desperate for me gold. Almost certainly not. Nope. Now there are a huge amount of new mission types. In this one I need to carry a confidential package for a set period of time before delivering it to a location which the contact will provide later on. So you get stuff like that. Open salvage contract with ours. So you take rare artwork from a salvageable wreckage site. Fucking 4 million credit on that pirate bounty thing, but you have to take out 85 pirates, and it's at Futhork, which is a fucking cuntish place to try and take out pirates. The most I've done there in a single mission I think was 15, and I was bored shitless with that. 85. I mean, okay, the payout's fucking good, 4.4 million. And of course you get the bounties from those 85 targets. But, well, you need to be friendly with Nahet Silver Ring, and I'm hostile with them, so yeah, would be nice, but no chance. Here's another of the new mission types. So with this one you have to deliver so this is delivering advanced catalyzers to a planetary base. Okay, well that's nothing. Nothing remarkable about that. What's this one? Taking 75 tons of basic medicines to Agartha, which isn't that far away. That wouldn't be a bad one, but you need to be elite trade rank, which I am not. This is another new type. This is a rescue operation. Now what I'm wondering with these rescue operations to rescue hostages, Simon McLucas there is the target. Does this mean you have to target him using the hatchbreaker limpets, so that the hostage capsule containing the hostage gets out of the ship before you then destroy the enemy ship? Or will it be just found in amongst the wreckage? I don't know. If it's the latter, it's, you just destroy the ship and then bring in the hostage from the wreckage, then that would be easy. I'd have no problem going ahead and doing that. But if it needs to use hatchbreaker limpets, yeah, that changes it to something completely different, and I would not be bothering with it. Although you can't see it here because there aren't any available missions like it, but it has the available missions split into 2 categories now. So you have the regular available missions, and then the next lot would be missions that involve landing on planets, so would only be available to people who have Horizons, not available for people who have 1.5. Although I read on the forums that somebody who has 1.5 took one of the multi-stage missions and the last part of it involved landing on a planet, which of course he couldn't do because he has 1.5, so he couldn't do, or he couldn't finish that mission. He was a bit pissed off about it. I thought it was hilarious, but there you go. Alright, yeah, so gold here 9,676, so they want it, there's medium demand, but they're paying less than the galactic average, so I'm making 758 per ton, which ain't bad. So it says bought for 8918 because those 6 that I got for nothing. So I made a profit of 315,328, which ain't bad, but it's nowhere near as good as I've done in the not too distant past. Right, well that's plenty enough of this for this video. The next video I do will have me in the Fer-de-Lance doing some combat in that one. So in the meantime, that's this video done. So this is Commander Lucosa saying go away.